Hello dear friends, myself Sagar Sontake. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Chemistry Aspirant. In today's lecture, we are going to learn about the Markovnikov's rule, or it is also known as an Markovnikov's addition. So now let us start with the Markovnikov's rule. The Russian chemist Vladimir Markovnikov studied some addition reactions and he formulated this rule, which is known as an Markovnikov's rule, or it is also called as an Markovnikov's addition reaction. Which type of the reactions involved in the Markovnikov's rule? Remember, this rule is related to the addition reactions of your unsaturated hydrocarbons. That means here this addition reaction can take place in alkenes and alkynes. Now in this video I am going to discuss about the unsaturated alkenes only. Now what are the requirements for this reaction? Remember, this reaction takes place in presence of unsymmetrical alkene or alkynes. That's why we have used the word unsaturated hydrocarbons here. Okay, so this is the first requirement, and the second is the presence of your protic acid, or you can use the polar reagents also, such as water. Okay, all your halo acids is a protic acid. Now let us discuss about the unsymmetrical alkene. What do you mean by unsymmetrical alkene? In short, so here there must be the two different atoms or the group of atoms that may be present across the carbon-carbon double bond. Now let us consider the example regarding this one. I have taken the propene. Okay, let us give the numbering. Now on the first carbon atom there is a one methyl group and the one hydrogen group. On the second carbon atom there is a two hydrogen atoms. So there is a one methyl group different in this molecule, hence it is unsymmetrical alkene. Remember. Now let us consider the second example. Now here across this carbon-carbon double bond there is a two methyl group, and on this carbon atom there is a two hydrogen atoms. So these two methyl groups are different than this hydrogen atom, hence it is also the example of your unsymmetrical alkene. Let us consider the third example. Here on the carbon number 1 there is a one methyl group, one ethyl group. Okay, on the carbon number second there is a two methyl group. Okay, so obviously across this carbon double bond the different groups are present. Okay, hence it is also the unsymmetrical alkene. Now let us consider the fourth example. Observe, across this carbon-carbon double bond there is a ethyl group, then propyl group on the carbon number 1, while on the carbon number 2 there is a methyl group and the hydrogen atoms. So all these groups are the different, and hence it is also the example of your unsymmetrical alkene. Now let us consider about the second requirement, that is the presence of protic acid or the polar reagent. Now what is protic acid? Remember, an acid molecule which is capable of donating the proton in the aqueous solution. Now generally they are called as an protic acids. Okay, for example your HCl, when they dissolve in the water, obviously it gives H plus ion and the Cl minus ion. So this HCl is capable of donating the H plus ion, hence it is called as a protic acid. Now let us consider about the polar reagent. Now reagent in which the atom in a molecule have the electronegativity difference. Due to that one they create a polar nature, or it is also known as a polarity. Now that particular reagent is actually known as a polar reagent. For example, here I have taken the two different examples, water as well as the HCl. Okay, you know that in the water molecule hydrogen and the oxygen have the electronegativity difference. So I have written the electronegativity values here. Now oxygen have the electronegativity value 3.5, while the hydrogen have the electronegativity value 2.1. So there is a electronegativity difference. Therefore this OH bond can create a polarity or a pole in this bond. Hence this polarity is actually shown by the partial negative charge and the partial positive charge. This is actually the polarity which we represent by this partially symbol, which is actually delta. That is, hydrogen have the delta plus charge and the oxygen have the del minus charge. You know that polarity is due to the electronegativity difference. Whenever the bonding pair between these two atoms is slightly shifted towards the more electronegative element, it will create a more electron density. In this example on the oxygen atom, hence it will have the del minus charge, while the electrons will move away from the hydrogen atom, hence its electron density decreases, therefore it will have the del plus charge. Due to that one, there is a polar nature of this reagent. Now you can consider similar with your hydrogen and the HCl. HCl have the electronegativity value 3.0 while the hydrogen have the 2.1. Therefore, the bonding electron in between this hydrogen and the chlorine will be slightly shifted towards the chlorine atom, and hence it will have the del minus charge while the hydrogen have the del plus charge. In these two example, they act as an polar reagents also. So now let us consider the example of the Markovnikov's rule. So I have here taken the two example. Out of this, the first one is for propane and the second one is for your isobutylene. These are the unsymmetrical alkenes. Now here propene, when treated with your HBr, it undergoes the addition reactions and it gives isopropyl bromide and the N-propyl bromide as an product here. In this addition reaction, remember your isopropyl bromide is a major product. It forms with 80% and the N-propyl bromide is a minor product. It is 20%. This addition reaction takes place and how exactly we obtain this product. Now we will find out how the isopropyl bromide is formed. Here your bromine is added to your CH group in your propene and the hydrogen is added to CH2 group. Then we will obtain your isopropyl bromide as a product 1. The double bond convert into the single bond. Now N-propyl bromide, here exactly opposite happens. Your bromine is added to your CH2 group and the hydrogen is added to the CH group, and then we will obtain the N-propyl bromide as a minor product. Now let us consider the second example here. Isobutylene, when treated with your HBr, we will again obtain the two product. Out of that, the first one is the tertiary butyl bromide and the second one is your isobutyl bromide. In the similar manner, in the first case, bromine will added to your carbon atom, the hydrogen is added to the CH2 group. So we will obtain the tertiary butyl bromide as a major product which is from 80%, and in the second case bromine is added to CH2 group and the hydrogen is added to the carbon. Then we will obtain the isobutyl bromide which is a minor product and the 20%. Okay, so the question may be arose in your mind, why there is a formation of major and the minor product, which is actually given by your Markovnikov, and he stated this rule. Now let us study that rule. Okay, you know that the Russian chemist Vladimir Markovnikov have studied some addition reactions and he stated this rule. So when an unsymmetrical reagent is added to an unsymmetrical alkene, then the negative part of reagent get attached to that unsaturated carbon atom which have the less number of hydrogen atom. So due to this one, we will obtain the major product. Now let us consider this example. I have taken across this carbon-carbon double bond. Here this CH group and there is a CH2 group. Now we know that to the CH group only one hydrogen atom is attached and to the CH2 group the two hydrogen atoms are attached. Now according to the Markovnikov's rule, the negative part of reagent goes to that unsaturated carbon atom which have a less number of hydrogen atom. So here only one hydrogen atom, here two hydrogen atom. So according to the Markovnikov's rule, the negative part of your HBr, that means Br minus, will get attached to CH group. Okay, Br minus will attach to CH group and the hydrogen will attach to the CH2 group, and we will obtain this isopropyl bromide as a major product in the first reaction. We will obtain the minor product as an N-propyl bromide. This one we will study the reaction mechanism of this reaction and then we will find out the exact reason behind this Markovnikov's rule. Now let us consider the mechanism of this reaction. So this mechanism reaction involves the nucleophilic addition. Now here the step first is the formation of your more stable carbocation. Now in this reaction, the proton is added across this carbon-carbon double bond to give the more stable carbocation. Actually there is a formation of a secondary carbocation as well as the primary carbocation. Now suppose this proton is added CH2 group, then we will obtain this secondary carbocation that I have shown here, and if this proton is added to your CH group, then we will obtain the primary carbocation. Okay, so that is our second carbocation. That generally the secondary carbocation is more stable than the primary carbocation. Hence, this reaction will be preferred for the formation of secondary carbocation than the primary carbocation. Hence, we obtain the product that is your isopropyl bromide when we react HBr with your propene as a major product and the N-propyl bromide as a minor product. We know that this is due to the stability of the carbocation. So this is your first step. Remember, there is a formation of a two intermediate, that is your secondary carbocation and the primary carbocation. Secondary carbocation is preferred over the primary carbocation as it is more stable than your primary carbocation. In the step second, the formation of your final product takes place. Now here your bromide ion act as a nucleophile which attack on the carbocation and we will get both the product. Now here your bromide donate its lone pair of electron to the secondary carbocation and it gives isopropyl bromide as a major product. Now here the bromide ion donates its lone pair of electron to the primary carbocation and we will obtain the N-propyl bromide as a minor product. So this is simple reaction mechanism of this reaction. Now what is the successful reason behind the Markovnikov rule? Remember, the more stable carbocation is the secondary carbocation which is attached to the greater number of alkyl group. Okay, and if we consider the stability order of the carbocation, remember the tertiary carbocation is more stable than the secondary carbocation and the secondary carbocation is more stable than the primary carbocation. So if the intermediate is stable, then obviously the product which we obtain will be more stable, and hence that's why here this secondary carbocation gives the major product than your primary carbocation which is the minor product. So this is the success of your Markovnikov's rule. Now lastly, just note down one important point. Markovnikov's addition reactions takes place by the HCl, HBr and HI with your alkene and alkynes. So this is the whole about your Markovnikov's rule in detail. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in my next video.